My name is Clyde Washington, and you're watching NL Now on Canada Superstation NTV. Welcome to an all-new episode of NL Now here on NTV. My name is Clyde Washington, and I am honored to be your host for this morning's show. We have a wonderful show planned with a ton of special guests, but first, I just wanted to thank you all for tuning in and say that I hope you all enjoyed a wonderful holiday season. I know I certainly did. Here's just a little picture of me and Gary and Lionel enjoying the fireworks from this past New Year's Eve. Great time with them. Now on to today's show. We have some marvelous special guests for you. In the interview chair, Gary's going to be chatting with Petrina Bromley of Come From Away. I know I'm excited to see that interview. It's a never-before-seen interview filmed earlier this summer. And last summer, I should say, rather. And in the musical guest stage, we have Dandelion Few, as well as Colleen Power. Hey, so some great guests to start off a great year of shows. And we're going to kick things off right away. I'll chat with you guys a little more later on. But for now, please welcome Dandelion Few.
These embers are ending, baby, I'm listening. But there's a fire that's glistening on the inside. And the winds outside curse, but I tell you what's worse are the gales that blow me from side to side. Lucky for me, I have a tale to tell of a man that I knew some time ago. And you got too much time to kill, so I'll just say it once and that's all we'll be needing. Well, he came from a big town, in fact quite a large one, but not quite a city, if you know what I mean. One day he went rambling, having grown disenchanted with the false claims of hard men, their women in kind. To seek out the true face of kindness, reach for a hand that might fit his own. Where welcomed are the wild and the slighted, just bring him there once and that's all he'll be needing. On train tracks and motorways and side roads and bridges, misspelled names of punk bands all sprayed on the walls. He said my new friends are foxes and robins on fences, the occasional memory in books I might find, with words that flesh out the senses, thoughts of days by my brother's side, with wings that compose me the morning dew, and seek to be inspired, that's all we'll be needing. With senses, and thoughts of days by my brother's side, and wings that compose me the morning dew, and seek to be sly, that's all we'll be needing.
Hey, folks, make sure you stay tuned because coming up right after this commercial break, I'll be performing a little bit of a duet with my friend Colleen Power. Don't miss it right after the break, right here on NL Now. Welcome back to NL Now. I'm Clyde Washington. We take you now to Music NL's Play on Gower, where our musical guest setup is for today's show, where Colleen Power has her spin on a popular children's tune alongside NL Now's own Lionel. Around the bay,
where the partridge berries grow,
back
to my home, I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a whale do a big exhale around the bay, where the partridge berries grow, back to my home, I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a puffin pecking on a muffin around the bay, where the partridge berries grow, back to my home, I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a loon by the light of the moon around the bay, where the partridge berries grow, back to my home, I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a tur cause a big stir around the bay, where the partridge berries grow, back to my home, I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a beaver burn with a fever around the bay, where the partridge berries grow, back to my home, I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a lynx playing tiddlywinks around the bay, where the partridge berries grow, back to my home, I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a bear with a shoe here around the bay, where the partridge berries grow, back to my home, I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a fox by the old salt box around the bay, where the partridge berries grow, back to my home, I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever hear a moose with a lame excuse around the bay?
Hi, I'm Jake Thompson, the creator and director and lead puppeteer here at NL Now, and I just wanted to take a minute to explain the next segment that you're going to see here on today's show. So this segment was taped back in August of 2022, and it was originally meant to air during Gary's Garden Party special, which you may remember from earlier in the season, that featured the Darina Harvey Band and all the fun things happening in Gary's backyard. But unfortunately, due to some technical difficulties with the audio track from that interview at the time, we weren't able to get it to air. We weren't able to fix it in time to be a part of that episode. But I'm very happy to say that I've managed to restore some of the audio from that interview, and we're able to bring most of that to you here today. So I hope you enjoy it. Here's Gary's interview with Petrina Bromley. So, of course, we all know you're one of the stars of Come From Away, the hit Broadway musical, which now we've heard that the Broadway run is going to close up this fall after a very spectacular run of many years. And can you maybe think back, or I guess first of all tell us, just because the Broadway run is over, it doesn't mean that Come From Away in itself is done yet. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely, yeah. The closing of the Broadway show kind of opens it up. Generally what happens after the Broadway show closes is in a little bit more time, they'll release the rights, which means that other companies will be able to do it. Amateur companies and community companies and other professional companies will be able to do their own productions of it. So it actually really means that there'll be more versions of Come From Away out there. It'll just take a little bit more time. And the Toronto company is coming back in 2024, I think it is. So there'll still be Come From Away productions out there. There's one right now in Buenos Aires in Argentina in Spanish. So it's still happening in many, many places around the world.
Yes, of course. And now one of the things that Come From Away is doing is part of the Come Home Year celebrations here in the province is a little tour, I guess, of the concert version, I believe it is. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. So the concert version is basically like an unplugged version of the show. So it's still all of the text and all of the songs. There's nothing missing from the show.
Yes.
We just don't move around as much because we can't bring in the turntable and the big trees and all that stuff to do the shows here. I don't know if there is a stage big enough for it at the moment.
Yeah, so and one of the things you worked on a little bit while you were here was the Spirit of Newfoundland 25th anniversary show. So how was it to get back to be able to perform here at home?
Oh, so good. It's so great. That's what I'm looking forward to with this concert version as well, is to be able to perform it for the hometown crowd, you know, because people here, the show is so special to everyone here, and there's so many people who would never be able to make the trip to New York or Toronto or wherever it's playing to see it. So this is an opportunity for them to see it here at home, and I just think that's so, so special. And to get to perform for the hometown crowd is always the best.
Yes, for sure.
No one loves you like your own people.
Yes, that's right. Now, one of the things I heard was that Come From Away just celebrated being one of the longest running, or if it wasn't the longest running show at the theater you guys are performing it out of.
That's right, yeah, the Gerald Schoenfeld in New York. They're on 45th Street. It used to be the Plymouth years ago because the theater is over 100 years old. And before it was the Schoenfeld, it was the Plymouth. And we just surpassed Jekyll and Hyde to be the longest running show in that theater.
That's great. So looking back at all the time there on Broadway, is there any moments that stand out as a highlight of the run?
Oh, there's so many. It's so hard to choose just one.
Yeah.
We met so many incredible people, and I mean, some of them were stars, but some of them were just people who had their own 9/11 stories and their own relationship to the event. We met firefighters and survivors and survivors' families, and those are such incredible moments because the story for us here in Newfoundland and in Canada is just a happy story about people being nice to each other.
Yes.
But down there, people have the tragedy connected to it as well. So it was always very special to get to meet those people. And, you know, famous people are cool to meet too. Absolutely, yeah.
Now, back in January, some of my viewers may have watched it as well. Son of a Critch, the hit TV series based on the life and I guess childhood of Newfoundlander, comedian, actor Mark Critch. So you had a chance to be on that show in a role. Why don't you tell us a little about that role?
Yeah, so I get to play Sister Margaret, who is the homeroom teacher for Mark and his friends. And it's really fun for me because I've known Mark for a very long time, and I've known some of these stories for a long time too. and to get to be a part of telling them is so much fun. And I grew up in that era too, and went to Catholic school, so they're not. They're things that are very familiar to me too. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and those kids are so talented, and the stories are so beautiful and full of humor and pathos, but also just really, really lovely, normal, average stories that everybody has from their lives.
Now, of course, it's been renewed for a second season. That'll air, I think it's in January. It's going to premiere again. So can we expect to see some more of your character when the new season premieres?
Yes, you will. Yeah. I'm back for this season, teaching again at the school and having fun in the classroom with the kids.
Now, while some of the information in that interview there might have been a little outdated by now, as it was supposed to air back in October, we hope you were still able to enjoy Gary's chat with Petrina Bromley. And if you're interested in checking out Come From Away, the Broadway Pro Shot featuring Petrina in her role is available on Apple TV. And also, Come From Away is returning here to the province of Newfoundland and Labrador for a run of shows next summer at the Gander Arts and Culture Centre, so be sure to check that out as well. And we will be right back with another song from the Dandelion Few to close out our show after this very quick break, right here on NTV with NL Now. Welcome back to the show. I'm here now with today's musical guests, the Dandelion Few. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us, Gary.
Yes, so I guess I first just wanted to ask, maybe you could tell the viewers at home a little bit about yourself and how you started playing together.
Well, I'm Sean, this is Tiffany. We met back in Ireland, and we played folk songs back there, and we just started to write songs together, and we've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, that's great. So you say you met back in Ireland, so are you guys originally from there, or are you from here, or what's the story?
I am, but...
I'm from the road.
That's great. And so if people want to hear a little bit more of your music or find out more about you, where can they do that?
Well, we're on Spotify, we're on all the streaming platforms. We got the socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Fred's and the local record stores or Brian's as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's all there.
Well, that's great. Once again, thank you guys so much for coming on today. And maybe just tell us a little bit about the next song you're going to do for us.
The song, In the Long Run, it's off of our first album. And does it conclude the album? It does, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It does, there you go. And,
it's called?
It's called In the Long Run, I said that already.
Oh, sorry.
Well, that's great. Well, thanks again, guys, for coming on today. It's been great to have you here. And thank you, folks at home, for watching the show today. All right?
Rock and roll.
Whenever you're ready.
Said much, and I can feel my limbs start to ache. And in the fast course we're unraveling backwards to all the certain places we'll remain. Oh, it's desperate to cling to future views, to avoid the shovel and the rain. Well, we're married to the time, like turpentine, seeming the old evergreens. The trees are a blur and faces scatter
the risk of fading, and now we're walking amongst rows of rain, filtered by sunlight. These days play out there. Freedom reigned before the digital age. Always desperate to cling to future views, to avoid the shovel and the rain. Well, we're married to the tide, like turpentine, seeming the old evergreen. In the long run, we haven't said much, and I can feel my limbs start to ache.
For me, it's totally a dream come true to perform with the symphony. I just turned 30 this year, and I wanted to do something large for my 30th birthday. I never dreamt it would be this. But yeah, I'm delighted about it.
And folks, please come back again next Saturday, 10:30 a.m., right here on Canada's Superstation, NTV, for another all-new episode of NL Now. What do you say we close it out, Evan? Count us in. All right.
1, 2,